about some of the episodes that you experienced during college.
Um, well, I guess like at parties, like, I'll rub up against girls, or there was like a high school like right next to us, and sometimes, I'd go sit in the parking lot in my car and watch the girls go in, um, and, masturbate in my car, um, mostly stuff like that.
Okay. How often would you say that you masturbate in a day?
Probably 1 or 2 times a day.
Okay. And what would it be about?
It's always, it starts out like, I'm rubbing up against someone that normally a stranger, and then they like it, and then it leads to intercourse. Um, that's pretty much like the only thing that sort of gets me excited.
Okay.
Um, but like in real life, when I do it, they aren't really excited and they just act disgusted, or in my fantasies are always excited and it leads to more.
Okay. And would you say that that's the only thing? That's the only thing that gets you off, as you said before. That's the only thing that sexually excites you.
Yeah, I mean, different kinds of sex excite me, I guess, but it has to start like with, the rubbing and stuff like that. Otherwise, it's just, I don't get it.
Okay, so that has to be a major part of your fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like that for every time.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's, I think of Helen sometimes, because that's how I can't really get excited unless we do that, and I feel like sometimes, she asks us me not to, but, I can't get excited if we don't do that.
Okay. And you mentioned before that you're sort of distant from your father. Tell me more about that.
Well, like I said, he died when I was 12, but when he was alive, he just, I don't know, he just always seemed to reject me, and like we never did anything together, and I don't know, he just, like I never felt connected to him. And I guess that may be another reason I'm trying to sort of be more involved with Steve, because I feel like I'm sort of being like how my father was to me.
Okay. Tell me more about some of those times where you felt rejected by your father.
Well, like anytime, like, I would ask him to do anything with me, like teach me, how to throw a ball or something, or, I guess when I got older, I kind of like wanted to know about how to talk to girls and stuff. He just would brush me off, and like half the time he wasn't even home, so
Okay. And do you remember where he would be?
normally at work, or, out at the bar or something.
Okay. And so, how much alcohol would you say that your father would use
Um,
on a given day?
Usually after work, he would go like to drink with his work buddies.
Right.
So I mean, he would normally come home kind of drunk, like during the week,
How often would that happen?
like a few times a week probably.
Okay. And when he was drunk, tell me more about your relationship with him when he was drunk. How would he react to you?
Just ignore us, just we would try to, say, hey, dad, or whatever, but he just wanted to go upstairs and, go to sleep.
Okay. Okay. Now, I did want to go ahead and ask you, did your mom also drink as well?
Yeah, she drank sometimes. She would normally wouldn't drink like in front of us. She would go out. That was something like she would, be out at night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she would probably go out at least every weekend. She would go out.
And were there any times that you remember your parents ever being violent with each other or violent with you?
Not physically. They yelled a lot, but no one ever like hit anybody or anything like that.
Okay, and who would they yell at?
Sometimes each other. Sometimes like me or my sister if we were in the way or something.
Tell me more about that. What would constitute you being in the way?
Like, if they were arguing about something and we tried to, ask for something or anything like that, they would, start yelling at us. interrupting, or like if they were watching a show or something and we were in the way, they would yell at us or stuff like that.
Okay. And I did want to ask you a little bit more about some of your friends now. Tell me more about some of your social circle. Do you have any people that you consistently hang out with on a daily basis?
Well, I guess I have like a couple of friends at work that I see, you know, every day. Um, but we don't really talk that much because we're in the bar, you know, doing drinks and stuff. Um, I don't really like to hang out with people like on a regular basis. And I mean, even the friends like I have at work, I haven't worked there that long. I normally don't hold jobs too long; they just sort of bore me. Um, but I mean, I always have like a couple of friends, but we're not like super close. You know, just kind of just like, hey, how you doing? Like maybe hang out every now and then.
Okay. Now, tell me more about your job history. You said that you would get bored. Now, tell me more about what that means to you. What do you mean when you say bored? What makes you bored about your jobs?
It's just kind of the same thing. Like I don't get when people small talk. Like that's not exciting. It's boring, and I don't get it. So like the jobs that I do, I don't get them. What I really wanted to do was like something with painting or music, like art stuff.
Okay.
But I was never able to really, you know, make any money on that. So I kind of just had to do these boring jobs.
Okay. And so have you actually tried to sell any of your artwork or
Yeah.
an exhibition of your artwork?
Like in college, like I was in some clubs and stuff. We would do stuff like that, but every now and then, yeah, I saw something, but it just wasn't really enough to make a career out of it.
Okay. Okay. And now, what were some of the other jobs that you worked at before? Tell me about some of the more significant jobs that you held.
Well, I've been like a waiter. Um, I worked at like this like clothing store for like girls, for like a tween store. Things like that. Now I work at a topless bar. I don't know, none of them are even exciting enough to really remember. They've all seemed sort of the same now, just kind of monotonous.
Okay. And you voluntarily left all of those jobs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Which one of those jobs would you say is the longest that you've held so far?
Maybe this one. I've worked here for like a year and a half now, so.
Okay. And how long did you work in between clothing stores?
Like a year.
Yeah. Now, you did mention that you had some episodes at your current work. Did you have any experiences at any of your past jobs?
Yeah, I guess at that store, the manager sometimes, you know, got a little mad at me being too like friendly to the girls and stuff, or you know, being in the dressing room when I wasn't supposed to be, or something. So I got in trouble every now and then for stuff like that.
Okay, and how often would you say that happened?
Probably like once or twice a month, something like that would happen.
Okay. And did it ever lead to any confrontation with your employer to the point where your job was at stake?
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple times where he threatened, you know, if I did something like that again, you know, I'd be fired. You know, if like the parents of the girls got mad, it was, you know, he always got pretty angry. I got suspended maybe once or twice, but yeah, eventually I just left because it was, you know, I didn't want to deal with that anymore because like, especially there, like I always had these urges and I couldn't really, you know, I feel like I can't control them, so.
Right, right. And how many warnings would you say that you experienced while working there from your employers?
Probably 5 or so.
Okay. And you mentioned before that some of the parents of the children were concerned. Could you tell me more about an instance when that happened?
Yeah, one little girl in particular, she, was in the dressing room, and she was like putting stuff up or something, and I kind of like, came up behind her and was like talking to her, and I guess I was a little bit close, and she got like freaked out, and she, ran and told her parents, and so they got really mad, and my manager got involved and everything.
Okay, do you remember what you said to her?
I was just talking to her about the clothes she picked out. I was telling her that they looked good on her. Yeah.
Okay. And when you told her, the girl, that she looked good in the clothes that she picked out, what was her reaction to you?
She didn't say anything. She just like got scared and like ran off.
Okay. And that's when she told her parents.
Mhm.
Has that happened more than once? Where is a similar situation to that, or?
Yeah, I mean, usually when I do things like that, that's how women react.
Okay. And particularly at your jobs, was this the first time that you approached a child and told her how good she looked in her clothes?
No, I mean, I guess I do that a lot. Like whenever I see like a cute little girl or whatever, walking down the street or something, I'll sort of try to get closer to them and, talk to them. Like when I'm in my car and like a cute girl walks by or whatever, it excites me. So no, I guess I do that often.
And I wanted to ask you, what type of age range were those girls typically?
Probably like 15, 16.
Okay, so
like in high school.
And how old was the girl that you spoke to at the tween clothing store?
I think she was like 15.
Okay. Now, I know that we're running out of time a little bit here, but I did want to just summarize, get a summary from you about what your presenting concerns are and what you hope to get out of therapy. So, would it be correct to say that your number one concern is dealing with these urges?
Yeah, I mean, even though this is what I like, but like my wife is gonna leave me, and if I get in trouble again, I'll probably go to prison.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so something has to change. So.
Okay, and is this the first time that you've had your run-in with the law? You said this was the first time the police was called on you, but this is the first time that you've been brought to court.
Yeah.
And they've literally court-ordered you to treatment.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that's definitely something that we can address during therapy. And what are some other presenting concerns that you have that you'd like to address in therapy?
Yes. I mean, I really want my relationship with Helen,
Okay.
to get better, especially like the sexual, parts.
Okay. Would it be okay if I invite her in to have therapy with you, so we can sort of work on some couples counseling skills together? Maybe just increase some of the intimacy.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if I want her to. I wouldn't want to talk about all this stuff in front of her.
Okay. Well, we can always have separate sessions for that as well. That's totally fine, and that's totally up to you as well. So, would you say we'll knock out one thing at a time, and we'll just start with, learning how to work with your urges and learning how to manage them so that they're not predominantly affecting, your daily functioning?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that sounds absolutely great. I'd really love to have you in weekly, and we can talk about, if you're available next week, we can really talk about some options, some therapy options that you feel comfortable with, and we can sort of just go from there.
Okay.
How does that sound?
Good.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing you next